Okay, so this is the back buddy. The back buddy is very similar to the Trigger Point Pro. Trigger Point Pro would be like this and wouldn't have the second body being the same. The biggest difference here, if you notice, it's much wider. Also, you'll notice the points that are here versus just the typical ball. These points are very beneficial for dealing with meridians and things like this. So a few fundamental functions. I use this one a lot. So you just place it over. You're going to have one hand is going to scoop underneath this ball, and the rest of your hand will curl over the top. The lower hand, the thumb will just come over the top and scoop. You can also do this, but you're going to find that this gives you more control without having to twist your wrist. Okay? So we're here. So let's say I find this spot. This is a good little spot here. So you have a couple of options. You can just sit on it. Okay? You can take this hand, will push away, and this hand will push down and away. So down and away. And what you can do here is you can kind of rock with this kind of motion. You can also just push them both away and just really press in on a spot. This allows you to do these things without having to really push hard or turn your body in weird positions to get a good spot. You can also use it for your neck. So let's say, for example, I want to slide down the neck. So I'm going to tilt my head away, and then I'm just going to, kind of like gravity do it, I'm just going to kind of push inward, and this one will kind of gracefully come down, and as such, it will slide down the neck. Okay, this is really good for getting into scalenes and those kind of tight spaces. This little knob here, I don't use it too much, but you can. You can kind of get it for like one of those pinpoint spots up here, and you can just kind of rest on it while you're having a conversation, you know, that kind of thing. And it'll give you a zinger. These two are very effective for getting in the cervical, if you notice the spacing. So I place them here, and I start with my head back, and I'm pushing through my body, essentially, just very gently. And as I do this, I'm going to start to look down, and gravity will naturally allow this to spin down. Just like that, okay? So you can do that several times. You can really get into this little C7 area too. These two knobs here, if you notice, are wider spaced. They're great for getting in to the low back. So you bring it up as high as you can. Depending on a person, it might not be as high as where I'm going. You're going to be pushing away from your body again, so pushing through you. And then just simply let gravity glide down all the way through. So you're pushing through your body and just letting gravity slide you down. This is great for getting in the erector spinae muscles and so on. This knob here with the point is very, very beneficial. I use this one a lot. If your arm is resting on a table, you could really grind in here and kind of move these. You can kind of slide. But I really like it for the pecs. So let's say you have a wall here. You can place your arm against the wall. You can gently nod yourself in. You don't want to be pushing too hard to overextend a stretch, but just get a little bit of a pull, and you can take it and hold it just like this. I use this finger here for stability and the thumb here, and then you just slide through, and you can just work your way up the muscle groups here. So it's very beneficial here. Also can be very beneficial if you hip off. You can kind of just sit here and, when I say hip off, I mean take your weight from both legs to one leg, letting this get that little divot, and you'll know when you feel it on your body, and then you just stick this right in that divot, and you just kind of rock around with it. Another way to do that is to take this curl here, place one hand on the outside, one hand on the inside, again using this bar as a post, and you can just kind of push that way and just kind of rock or just hold, and you'll feel it, and it's a really good muscle to be working on. And you can work around the front. You can also work it through the back into the glute area here. You can work down. I mean, these are all the spots that everybody needs to get worked on, and if you're not getting a massage right away, this is a great kind of interim type of technique. I also like to use this bar here for getting down the IT band. So all you runners or people that are doing bicycling or whatever, you can come through, again, kind of hip off, or if you're sitting down, this works really well, and just grind. Kind of like having a rolling pin, or a lot of people use those foam rollers to get a concept like this, but you got to torque your body out. This doesn't make you do that, especially if you're sitting. Also, you can use it down here, so if I'm sitting down, I can take all the pressure off, and I can just grind through here and really just get that peroneus group and just really relax it. These, the only time I really ever use these are for the foot. So again, if I'm sitting down is primarily when I do this. And so you'll just be sitting here, so I'll come down here. So if I'm sitting here, I'll grab this, and you can hold here, you can hold here, whatever works for you. And of course I'll be barefoot so you can get a better feel. You can even grab here and just kind of work through pressing. You can also glide it up and down. So these are all beneficial techniques. There's so much more that you can do with this, but these are just some of the basic fundamentals. You can also sit in the car, maybe not so legal, so use your judgment, but you can be sitting there. Sometimes I'll have a pain here, so I'll grab it and I'll kind of set it into place, and I'll rest my arm across it while I'm driving, or whatever the case is. Use your own judgment, but it's useful for wherever application you want. There's more, so if you want to ask questions or whatever, feel free, but this is the Back Buddy and some of the best techniques on how to fully utilize what you can do with it. Have a good day.